Bears mock draft 21.0 coming at you here on Chicago Bears Now. I'm Harrison Graham as we keep the mock drafts rolling. Can we get to 30 before April 25th? Don't challenge me. I don't know if we could do 9 more after this, but 25 definitely in the realm of possibility. It is officially draft month. April is here, and the Bears, as of now, still only have 4 picks, but 2 of them are in the top 10, so certainly a lot of flexibility if they want to move down from number 9. We all expect them to take Caleb Williams number 1. They got 75. They got 122. They got future capital if they feel the need to jump back into the second round potentially if they want to do that. So Ryan Poles still has flexibility even though he only has 4 picks in this draft. Now, with the draft being here this past month, Bears Now and the Raiders Report were our 2 biggest channels here at Chat Sports. I want to take them down in a sub-battle here in the month of April. Mitchell Renz, Jeremy Chuggs, great guys, but, they talk a little bit. They talk that smack, and, I want you guys to back us up here. I want you guys to clap back, if you will. I mean, we smoked the Raiders with Tyson Bagent last year. Let's smoke them in the subscriber battle. If you want daily coverage, hit that subscribe button right now. All right, let's get to our mock draft here, and with the number 1 overall pick, no surprise here, Caleb Williams is the selection, as he obviously is the heavy favorite to be the number 1 overall pick. We could talk about his numbers, we could talk about his talent. We've done that a million times, and obviously we'll continue to do so. I think he's got everything you need. I think he's got the physical attributes that you want. I think he's got the mental fortitude to take over for a player who was beloved here in Justin Fields and to take on a city like Chicago that hasn't had a great history at the quarterback position. I would say this is the most anticipated pick since 2017 for the Bears, and you could argue one of the most anticipated picks in the history of this franchise. It's hard to go year by year and figure out, how to rank all that, but it's top 5 for sure, if not top 3. I can't wait for this. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this kid, but I think he can handle it. He's checked those boxes for me during this pre-draft process. He really, really has. He's handled all the scrutiny, most of it that's been unfair, really, really well, and I'm excited to see what he can do as the face of this franchise. All right, trade alert. The top 3 receivers and Joe Alt were all off the board when our pick came up at number 9. So we're going to trade down. Raiders came calling. They offered 13, 77, and 112 to send 9 and 122. So essentially move down 4 spots in the first round, pick up a 3rd, and then move up 10 spots in the 4th round. The math checks out. It's a pretty fair trade here. The Raiders are paying a slight premium here, which is kind of what you're looking for, in the late 10s or early teens here in the draft. So I think it's a pretty good trade overall, especially when the top players on the board, it wasn't like there was an obvious pick. So I was cool moving down. Now, what do you guys think is the best course of action with the number 9 overall pick? Do you think you just keep it and make a selection? If so, type K for keep. If you want to trade up, type U for trading up. Or if you think trading down is the best course of action, go ahead and type D for trade down. K for keep and make the pick there. U for trade up, or D for trade down. Let me know what you guys think. So obviously we traded down here, and we end up with Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy. Now, full disclosure, Dallas Turner was already gone. Jared Verse went in that chunk as well. I could have gone Latu, but I wanted to mix it up, and with Latu's medicals, Byron Murphy doesn't have the medical history, at least that we're aware of, that he does. And look, edge or defensive tackle, I don't think it really matters. You need a guy who can generate pressure, and Murphy can absolutely do that. Don't just look at 5 seconds and be like, it's not a ton of pressure. His pass rush win rate was excellent for a defensive tackle. I think it was close to 20%. His RAS, relative athletic score, there's been some Aaron Donald comps. Now, I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald. I don't think he's going to be Aaron Donald, but low to the ground, can really move quick for his size. And I think he's, this is what a lot of these teams are looking for from these interior guys, those athletic 3-tech defensive tackles. And Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles, and Flus specifically, they've talked about that 3-tech spot so much in this defense. It's the engine to the defense. And I'm excited for Javon Dexter, but there's still questions there, right? Like, is he ready to be a lead dog for sure? Do you want to bring in good competition in the first round with Byron Murphy? Is Zach Pickens a guy that's ready to give you another step here? Maybe, maybe not. I like Murphy's game. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL. I think at 9, it's okay. I love it even more in a trade down scenario to 12, 13, 14, which is what we did here. So I would certainly be on board with this outcome. You guys should be on board with the Game Time app. And who likes cheaper opportunities with anything in life? Because that's what Game Time provides. The best tickets at the best prices available, usually last minute too. Listen, that's what they specialize in, last minute tickets. They got flash deals, zone deals, day of tickets where you see huge price reductions. And Chicago sports, look, it's been a rough few years, but things are on the up and up. You got the Cubbies, who are back home at Wrigley right now. You've got the White Sox who are underway. The Bulls are trying to get into the playoffs as well, and they would love to get into a first-round series and get some playoff basketball at the UC. Concerts, comedy shows, they're going to show you the exact vantage point regardless of the venue. If you're not living in Chicago, there's events everywhere. Use Game Time right now. Download the Game Time app today. Search it in your app store. It's a big white letter G with a black background. Use our promo code CHATSPORTS. That gets you $20 off with your first purchase, I should say. Listen, lowest price guaranteed. You find a price that's lower with the same ticket that you see on Game Time, screenshot it, send it to them. They're going to lower that price for you because they want you to have the best experience. Go check them out. Download the app. Last minute tickets. Lowest price, guaranteed with Game Time. Links in the comments and in the description, but just search Game Time in your app store and plug in promo code ChatSports. All one word, ChatSports, for $20 off your first purchase. All right, let's get to the YOLO portion of this mock draft. Devontez Walker, Tez Walker, out of North Carolina, the wide receiver who, look, he's an exciting, explosive vertical threat, but he's very boom or bust. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, didn't they try this with Velus Jones? And to an extent, yes, they're different players, but in terms of just gambling on the speed and the explosiveness and can he actually play receiver? Well, Tez Walker, explosive playmaker, played in just 8 games last year for North Carolina. If you remember, he had that NCAA suspension issue that got cleared up for a transfer, situation. That got cleared up, played the final 8 games, and he played well. He was a big play machine. Now, a couple of things here. 1, he's not a great route runner. He's not going to run the full route tree. 2, does have drop issues at times. So that's a bit of a concern. But this guy can fly. And he can fly at decent size, 6'1.5". He's got a slight frame, just under 200 pounds, but, gives you decent height and length on the outside. And then just all that green, vertical, broad, the 40-yard dash, sub 4.4 guy for someone who's almost 6'2". 20-yard split, 10-yard split as well. He is very, very explosive. And again, when you have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, you kind of just need a third guy to go make you big plays every once in a while, right? Now, look, are there guys I would rather have in this range? Yes. A lot of those guys weren't available this time. And I was like, you know what? I'll mix it up. I'll go for the home run. If you're Tez Walker, just catch go routes for me. I don't need you to run these complicated routes. That's what Keenan Allen is for. DJ Moore is going to give you some of that as well with his yak ability. Just take the top off the defense, because when you're playing with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, you are going to get man coverage for days if you're Tez Walker. And he's got the speed to beat man coverage. And look, is he super polished? No. But is he more polished than Velus Jones? Absolutely. Hell, him and Tyler Scott can duke it out to be the primary number 3. I don't care who wins. I just think you got to get someone else in that wide receiver room. Is it boom bust? Would I probably prefer to go a little safer? Yes. But if you hit, you might have like a juiced up Marquez Valdez-Scantling, like a better version of that, which, hey, if that's your number 3 receiver, you could certainly do a whole lot worse. Is Tez Walker worth the risk in round 3? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'd prefer round 4, but I think someone's going to gamble on those traits earlier. So I think you've reached the point in your roster where if you want to take a swing, you could. I don't love it, even myself, but it's a fun pick. Why not? All right, so since we traded down from number 9, did we trade again here, Jack? Just one trade? Okay, I thought we traded again here. I'll have to double check that. Sedrick Van Pran, the center out of Georgia here with the number 93 overall pick. You know what we did? We did trade here. This is on me. I didn't script the graphic. So what we did is we traded down from 77, that extra pick we got with that first trade down from 9 to 13, traded down from 77, picked up 93 and 113. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but moved down in the third round, picked up a fourth round pick. So 6 picks in total after the 2 trades. Anyway, here's Sedrick Van Pran. You look at the PFF grades here. My fault on the lack of a trade graphic. That's on me. But we've talked about him before. Late third, early fourth, I think that's proper range for him. I think he's got starting center potential in this league. But the beauty here is you wouldn't need him to start in 2024. He could kind of just be a guy you redshirt, right? Sit him behind Coleman Shelton and or Ryan Bates. We'll see who ends up starting there. And just sit and learn, right? Like, he's better than Doug Kramer. Kramer can be a practice squad guy. But with Coleman Shelton on a 1-year deal, with Bates having 2 years left and the ability to play guard, Van Pran could be your 2025 starter if things go well. If he develops and, gets a little bit stronger with that play strength in the NFL, I think he's got the ability to do it at this level. I just think he needs some time to sit. And what better situation than this, where you don't have to play right away if you are Van Pran. All right, so this is the Bears' own fourth-round pick after that first trade, moving up from 122 to 112 with the Raiders. Maason Smith, the defensive tackle out of LSU. We've talked about him a couple of times as well. Listen, he never put it all together at LSU, but when he played, you could see the flashes. I mean, 7 sacks almost in 22 career games. It's a sack almost every third game for an interior guy at the college level. That's pretty good. He's an athletic stud, and the problem with him is he had some injuries. There were some off-field concerns, but if the Bears feel comfortable, I think in the 4th round, former 5-star recruit, you look at the measurables, right? 6'5", over 300 pounds, his arm length 35 inches, which we know the Bears value. Good athlete, not premier, but good. The Bears like traits. This guy has traits. Are you going to take a risk like this in the 1st or 2nd round? No, we saw that with Jalen Carter last year. But in the 4th round, when your roster is in a place where you don't have gaping holes everywhere like you did 2 years ago, Maason Smith might be worth the swing on day 3. And hey, you already took Byron Murphy, so this is kind of a luxury pick, right? Like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it does, though, I mean, he's got starting potential. He's that talented. He just has not put it all together up to this point. But you see this sometimes where, guys are a little immature in college. Things don't click, and then they get in the right situation in the pros, maybe get some mentorship under an Andrew Billings, a Montez Sweat. Maybe, just maybe, it clicks in the NFL. I think in round 4 it could be worth that swing. All right, so this was the second trade. We picked up that extra 4th-round pick. Christian Jones, the offensive tackle out of Texas, who's been moving up boards. He could go 3rd or 4th round. Get him in the 4th here. I love him as a swing tackle. And look, early day 3, I think that's kind of what you're looking for with offensive linemen. Quality backups that could be starters in the future. That's kind of what they got out of Braxton Jones, right? Good athletic profile that you felt like could be a good backup. And hey, who knows, in that situation, he was able to win a starting job because the Bears had torn down the roster, and Braxton Jones has been a serviceable above-average player. I think Christian Jones could do something similar. Sit as a rookie, be the swing tackle. I think he'd be an upgrade over Matt Pryor and potentially Larry Borum. And then, who knows after that? If you don't want to pay Braxton Jones in a couple of years, Christian Jones could start maybe, or maybe he's just your long-term swing. Who knows? But in the 4th round, I think that's pretty good value overall. So there you go. 6 players in this mock draft. Caleb Williams, then you get Byron Murphy in a trade down from number 9. Tez Walker, boom-bust selection in round 3. Sedrick Van Pran, a developmental center in round 3 that could start in 2025. Maason Smith, another boom-bust selection there in the 4th round. And then Christian Jones, who maybe it's a lower ceiling, but it's a high-floor guy. If he has to step in and play, is going to give you serviceable playing ability. There you go. Kind of did it differently this time. Grade this mock draft 1 to 100. 100 being I absolutely nailed it. 1 being this is the worst mock draft you've ever seen. even I'm admitting I took some swings here. But hey, you know what? What's life without a little bit of fun and a little bit of, living on the edge here? 1 to 100. Let us know how we did in this mock draft. And don't forget to subscribe because we got Bears draft coverage all month long as the NFL draft is coming this month. Sub for Bears Dubs. It's going to be a hell of a month.